And we are back. Welcome to my men's team of the year vote for FC25. I'm only going to do a men's team of the year vote because I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know enough about women's football to make an accurate and honest women's team of the year vote. Yes, I do cover some women's football over on my main channel. We're actually nearly at 7,500 subscribers over on the main channel, so check that out so you could be that lucky person. But we are here to discuss the men's team of the year. This is going to be my honest pick, and what I'm basically going to do is work my way down the line, put people in the team, and then see if anyone else can dislodge the people that I initially pick. Then come the end of it, we will of course have our starting 11, which will of course be the absolute perfectly correct starting 11 for the team of the year, because all other opinions are wrong unless you're biased, and etc, 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 and the toxicity of this community goes on and on and on. And just in case all of you have forgotten, no matter what I say, and no matter what you say, and no matter who we vote for, if you click on the terms and conditions, it says that the final team will be selected by a combination of EA and community votes anyway, but it doesn't tell you how weighted that is, so basically EA will determine the team of the year on their own, despite what we all do here today. Before we get into it, if you haven't done so already, please do consider dropping a like on this video if you do enjoy all of my FC25 content. And without any further ado, let's get into the men's team of the year. And straight away, we'll just put the first three players in, which are Haaland, Salah, and Saka. And now basically it is the job of every single other player to dislodge those three players. So immediately, I'm going to put Foden in for Saka, which may be controversial off the rip, but look, Saka's had a very, very good year. There is no doubt about that. But Phil Foden, Premier League Player of the Season, really, really good performances from him. He has been ill through the majority of this season so far, so he definitely won't make my final team. But for now, I think he just edged out Bukayo Saka. Watkins, not good enough. Had his moment at the Euros. Had a good season with Aston Villa last season. Hasn't performed well this season. Heung-min Son shouldn't even be in the vote. Barcola, way too soon for him. Jonathan David, I'm actually going to put in over Phil Foden. Jonathan David has had one of the best calendar years that has gone completely under the radar, in my opinion. He's one of the top goal contributors in Europe. He's been massive in helping Lille get into the Champions League and been scoring goals in the Champions League. He's actually had a very, very good year. So for now, Jonathan David gets in. Ousmane Dembele, absolutely not. Lacazette, no. Harry Kane, for the balance of the year, I will put Harry Kane over Erling Haaland. He is, I believe, the top goal contributor in the top 5 leagues. Obviously, there is another man that I'm sure will be on this list that we'll mention later on that has more goal contributions than Harry Kane. But in terms of the top 5 European leagues, Harry Kane is the top goal contributor, so I'm absolutely putting him in over Erling Haaland. Despite the fact he still failed to win a trophy, he did, of course, help England reach the Euro final as well. Mamouche is an interesting one. I think it's a little bit too soon for him. I think he's having a fantastic season so far this season. He's actually got more goal contributions than Harry Kane in the Bundesliga so far this season. What is absolutely mental, as I see that Girassi is the next pick as well, is neither of the Egyptians, Mamouche or Salah, were even nominated for the African Player of the Year, let alone nominations for like the Ballon d'Or or Men's Player of the Year or Top 11 for the year. Neither of these were nominated for that, but they weren't even nominated in the top 5 players in Africa this year, which is absolutely mental. Girassi, of course, was, which is understandable. All the achievements of Stuttgart do need mentioning. You see Undav there as well. But, I mean, I'm keeping Salah in here. I'm going to tell you this right now. Salah is not leaving this position for the rest of this video. So, Salah is going to stay there because he absolutely deserves to be in the team of the year for how good he has been. As much as it pains me as a Manchester United fan, Salah is the best player in the world as things stand today. So he is getting in there. But yeah, worth mentioning that neither Salah or Mamouche got in that African top 5. Girassi did, but it's not enough to dislodge any of these three. Same with Undav, same with Openda. Lautaro Martinez, however, he is going to dislodge Jonathan David, because Lautaro Martinez was the top scorer in Serie A, I believe. He was the top goal scorer at the Copa America, which Argentina won. And of course, Inter Milan won Serie A as well. So his goals are the reason why these teams won these tournaments. So he absolutely deserves to be in there. I know he's not doing as well this season, but he's still contributing goals for Inter Milan. So I think that does overhaul the achievements of Jonathan David. Not so much Kane or Salah so far, but definitely Lautaro Martinez deserves to be in the conversation. Vlahovic, again, not good enough. Lookman, I've already mentioned the African Player of the Year stuff. Yes, he did win African Player of the Year. Yes, he helped Atalanta qualify for the Champions League. Yes, he scored a hat-trick to end Bayer Leverkusen's unbeaten streak and win the Europa League last year. But it's not enough to dislodge these three. He's had a really good year, but not enough for me. Pulisic, having a very good year. Again, not enough. Thuram outperforming Martinez at Inter Milan this season, but not over the balance of the entire year. Kvaratskhelia had another good year, but again, it's not Team of the Year worthy. Dovbik's an interesting one. La Liga's top goal scorer last season. The only reason I think you can't really consider him over the three we've already got is because he's not really done that well for Roma. So, no. As good as he was last season, it's not enough to get in over these three. Then we get to Vinicius Jr. and Lamine Yamal, who I think both deserve to be in this team at the moment over the players that are currently in there, because this is where it again comes down to achievement. Obviously, Lamine Yamal, huge contributor in Spain winning the Euros, and he's just non-stop put in good performance after good performance after good performance. Vinicius Jr., absolutely integral in what Real Madrid achieved last year in terms of Champions League, La Liga. He scored a lot of important goals in important games. But I'm not going to lie, what's he done since the summer? He was absolutely awful for Brazil at the Copa America. He's not exactly done a lot for Real Madrid this season. And again, in the World Cup qualifiers, he's been absolutely arse for Brazil again. Meanwhile, Yamal's continued to play well at a ridiculously high level despite his age. So I'll put them both in for now. I'm going to put them both in over Kane and Martinez because they both achieved more than Kane and Martinez, in my opinion, in terms of performance level and overall achievement. So I'll put them both in for now, but one of them might drop out before the end of this. Rafinha, I think, too soon. Having a phenomenal season. Arguably the best player in La Liga so far this season, but it's too soon to put him in a Team of the Year. Mbappe, for me, shouldn't be anywhere near this. Lewandowski is another one that should definitely be considered. I think he was the top goal contributor. He's certainly top goal contributor this season in La Liga. He's playing some very good stuff again for Barcelona, but how much of that is because of the effect of Yamal? How much of that is just his own ability? I don't think it's enough to dislodge the front three. Griezmann, another great year for him. Not enough because they didn't really achieve anything. And then we have the three off-league players, of course, Gyökeres, Ronaldo and Messi. To be fair, both Ronaldo and Messi do deserve some sort of conversation. The goal contribution from Ronaldo for Al Nassr and for Portugal in things like the Nations League and obviously all the other competitions Al Nassr are in. Lionel Messi, what they've achieved with Inter Miami, topping the MLS, being a key contributor in Argentina's Copa America win once again. Is it enough to dislodge these three? Absolutely not. However, the absolute top goal contributor in the world this year is Victor Gyökeres. And I'm putting him in over Vinicius Jr. Cry about it. I don't care. We all know Vinicius is going to be in there anyway, because remember, terms and conditions, it's picked by EA anyway. So Vinicius is going to be in there regardless, plus I think he'll win the public vote anyway. So I'm not going for him. I don't think Vinicius deserves it over Yamal, Gyökeres or Salah. For me, those have been your top performing forwards over the course of the calendar year. Let's move on to the midfield. And well, straight away, Rodri's in. He won the Ballon d'Or. He is the most important player in world football. You want to notice any more of that, look at Manchester City without him. I've said for the last 3 years that Rodri is the most important player in football. I think people are starting to come round to that idea now. Player of the tournament at the Euros, should have been player of the year in the Premier League last year, even though Foden won it. And he won the Ballon d'Or, and look at Man City without him. They have really suffered. Cole Palmer, top goal contributing midfielder in the world this year. He is definitely in. Odegaard, I mean, very good season. Same with Declan Rice. I don't really think it's enough for either of them. Bruno Fernandes gets straight in because he plays for Man United. So now someone's got to dislodge him. Vitinha, no. Good year, but no. Kamara, again, playing very well for Brest in the Champions League. Obviously getting them to the Champions League. He's played well, not enough. Zaragoza, same as Jonathan David, really good contributions for Lille, but again, not enough for me. Florian Wirtz gets in, obviously, over Bruno Fernandes, and to be honest, someone's got to do some serious damage to dislodge any of these three, because these are really the most important player in world football, the top goal contributing midfielder, the star in Bayer Leverkusen's unbeaten run to the Bundesliga title. Realistically, they're not getting dislodged, but we'll see. Xhaka, basically Wirtz, but not as important. Very important, but not as important. Musiala didn't win the Bundesliga. Julian Brandt didn't win the Bundesliga. Had a very good season with Dortmund in the run to Champions League final, but not enough. Xavi Simons, again, high performance, but not enough. Çalhanoğlu, very important in that Inter Milan team. Definitely deserves to be in the conversation. One of the best midfielders in the world. Not enough to dislodge. De Ketelaere, same as Lookman, just not quite there. Dybala, no. Orsolini, no. Jude Bellingham is probably the only one, isn't it? Everything he contributed last season, La Liga, Champions League, so many goals. He's on a really good run of form again at the moment. Is it enough to take out one of those three? The one under threat is definitely Palmer. I'm not taking out Wirtz. I'm not taking out Rodri. Top goal contributor, but didn't achieve anything. Chelsea didn't even qualify for the Champions League. Yes, he scored in the Euro final, but England didn't win the Euro final. He also didn't really play that much in the Euros. Bellingham did and got his important goal. Just Jude Bellingham, just over Cole Palmer. I think that's really harsh. To be honest, I'd put Cole Palmer over Lamine Yamal if I could. And to be honest, there's not many defenders this year. So Palmer deserves to be in there over probably a few others. But unfortunately for me, Bellingham just edges it. Valverde, another phenomenal year. Just Bellingham's ahead. Nico Williams, good Euros, good last season, nothing this season. Pedri, no. Baena, another good season, but no. Zubimendi, again, just not as good as Rodri. Di Maria, no. Aldasari, again, just no. Kante, no. So yeah, that's your midfield. Wirtz, Rodri, Bellingham. Very, very close. Palmer definitely deserves to be in there. Probably over Yamal or one of these defenders we're about to do. But no, that is going to be it for me. And then the defence, I mean, this is just ridiculous. Gvardiol, no. Saliba, for now, yes. There's no Gabriel. Why is there no Gabriel? Gabriel had a better year than Saliba. If you haven't realised, it's going by league and then by club. So for the fact that it goes from Saliba straight to Van Dijk means there's no Gabriel. How can there be no Gabriel? Legit, Gabriel is a lock in my team of the year if he's here. Well, Van Dijk's in, obviously. Van Dijk, as much as it pains me to say it, Salah's the best player in the world right now. Van Dijk is the best defender in the world right now. As much as that pains me to say as a Manchester United fan, that's just a fact that they're in. Trent, no. Ruben Diaz, no. Marquinhos, no. Singo is a very, very talented young player. Monaco are have had a very good calendar year. He has been integral to that. So do you know what? For now, I'll stick him in. He definitely deserves a nomination. Grimaldo, yes. Absolutely Grimaldo, yes. Phenomenal year for Bayer Leverkusen. The unbeaten run, the amount of goal contributions him and Frimpong both got deserve to be mentioned. I put him in my team of the year last year. In my opinion, bizarre that he wasn't the starting left-back for Spain, but Cucurella did a phenomenal job, and obviously Spain did win the Euros. He did play 2 games at the Euros and did well in those 2 appearances. So, yeah, Grimaldo definitely in for now. Jonathan Tah, again, integral to the Bayer Leverkusen, but not going to outdo Grimaldo. Frimpong I'll put in over Singo for now, because again, basically matching Grimaldo, but without the international trophy at the end of it. And also, he also wasn't playing for his national team at the Euros because of Dumfries. Kimmich, absolutely not. He's just gone off the boil, I think, this year. He's still playing well, but he's moved back to right back. He should definitely be a midfielder. He plays better in there. Mittelstadt definitely deserves a mention. Brilliant performances. So many assists for Stuttgart in the Bundesliga last season, and a good performance from him at the Euros. Theo Hernandez, as much as I think he's the best left back in the world, I have no doubt in my mind he's the best left back in the world. Last year, not good enough to dislodge any of these 4. Bremer, phenomenal centre-back, one of the best, if not the best centre-back in Italy. Definitely deserves to be in the conversation, but again, he's not dislodging any of them. DiMarco, however, I actually think DiMarco gets in. I'm going to put DiMarco in over Frimpong. I think, again, you've got to look at what he's done in terms of contributions all round. He is integral to Inter Milan. He is such a key player, whether he's playing as the left wing-back or playing as the left centre-back. He is so important to how they play. He's so good at going forward. His set-piece delivery is outstanding. And he's just had a really, really good year. So he's getting in over Frimpong. Bongiorno, again, too soon for him. Bastoni, solid, but I'm not going to put him over DiMarco. DiMarco's been more important than Bastoni, in my opinion. Carvajal has to be in there. Champions League and Euros, the only player to do that. In my opinion, all this Real Madrid rage about Vinicius Jr. not winning the Ballon d'Or, completely focused on the wrong player. They should have been focusing on why Carvajal didn't win the Ballon d'Or. Who comes out? Do you know what? I'm going to take out Saliba. Again, it's to do with what they've then gone on to achieve. I think what DiMarco's achieved with Inter Milan deserves to be in there. Carvajal obviously deserves to be in there. Grimaldo deserves to be in there for the Spain and the Bundesliga. And I just then think Van Dijk is better than Saliba. I don't think there's much in it, but I think Van Dijk is better than Saliba. And I think DiMarco deserves his opportunity to be in here over a Saliba and possibly over a Gabriel as well. So I'm going to go for that. Rudiger, no. He's had a good year, but no. And Miguel Gutierrez, again, far too soon for him. Very good young player. But, to be fair, I saw him at the Olympics, and he had an absolute stinker at the Olympics. That's it for the defence. That just leaves the goalkeepers. So who have we got? Emi Martinez, straight in. Back-to-back best goalkeeper in the world in terms of the voting. Copa America, again, getting Aston Villa into the Champions League. That's going to take some dislodging, to be fair. Donnarumma, no. Kobel, great season with Dortmund. One of the main reasons why they got into the Champions League final, but it's not dislodging Martinez. Galashi, no. Menu. There's no Kradetsky. Completely unbeaten run in the Bundesliga, nearly unbeaten all season. The Kradetsky doesn't get in there. That's kind of crazy. Mainan, no. Unai Simon, maybe. The only thing that stops Unai Simon going in over Emi Martinez is that club achievement. Because essentially they've had very parallel seasons. They're both playing for a club that's not really expected to get into the Champions League. They're both playing for a nation that has won their international tournament. They've both been key in their country winning their international tournament. However, Martinez got Villa in the Champions League. Unai Simon did not get Bilbao in the Champions League. So unfortunately, Emi Martinez just edges it. Diogo Costa, absolutely not. And that's your lot. So there you are. That is my team of the year. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Hopefully I've given enough justification for every single pick. I'm sure you lot are going to be very critical of some things. Where's Vinicius Jr.? How did you take out Saliba? How did you leave out Cole Palmer? But I think I've given valid justifications for every single player in that team. Hopefully you all agree. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you very soon.